I think Baidu's gotten a bad rap for an awfully long time about just simply being, at the most complimentary, a fast follower. Most people just sort of have seen it as merely a Google clone. That's really never been the case. In fact, Robin Li, the CEO and chairman of the company, took out a patent before Larry Page did. His patent on hyperlink analysis predates Larry Page's. So even from the very, very early days, it was never a merely derivative company.
Baidu has maintained a stranglehold on the Chinese market despite Google's global dominance. So what did it take to beat a global giant away?
Now, that's very interesting. There's only 4 markets in the entire world where Google is present but is not dominant. And those are, of course, China, Russia, maybe surprisingly the Czech Republic, and South Korea. I think we were simply more local. We delivered better relevance in Chinese language search. There's nobody who would question the fact that Google is a much superior English language search engine, but the fact is, Chinese people surprisingly speak Chinese, and that was part of it. I think Google also, made some mistakes on entering the market. I think you probably remember that early on, there were surveys that showed that most Chinese internet users simply couldn't spell the word Google to type it into their browser. So Baidu has always really anticipated the needs of the Chinese internet user and done it very well.
And what does the future hold for Baidu? Global domination or just focus on China?
We've never made a secret of the fact that we intend to become a global brand. Robin Li has said before that in 10 years' time he hopes that Baidu is a household name in half of the world's internet markets. I don't think that's an unrealistic goal at all. We are developing in 9 different languages besides Chinese and English. We're looking, I think, at some developing world markets, especially in Latin America, at Southeast Asia, the Middle East. But none of this is really near term. I think that we're very, very much focused still on the domestic Chinese market.
Inside Baidu, is there a moral calculator at work? Discussions about how much should be censored?
The issue of censorship comes up, of course, inevitably. I have sort of officially banned the robotic utterance of all companies doing business in China must obey Chinese law. That, of course, is true. All companies in China must obey Chinese law. That doesn't mean that it's something that we think is an advantage to us in any way. We incur significant costs from censorship, as our CEO has said time and again. In the most significant of those costs is, of course, just the time and attention that our senior managers have to devote to the issue. It's a very flat organization, and there's a real, we're encouraged to be extremely candid, frank, and direct, and I think that extends to our business practices and outside of the company itself.